This is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Friday. This is Devils After Dark. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio studios in beautiful New Jersey.
Did you forget?
Yeah, I forgot where I was. I actually forgot where I was during this ungodly hour. The hell with it. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. Scotty, I am mad.
I know you are. And I
am mad. I'm not settling for 9 out of 10.
I think your boy, the Insane Pollock, agrees with what you were telling me just before we said hello to everybody, right, Sam Wu?
Yeah, I'm going to go straight to it. All right, these refs suck. When somebody crashes into the goaltender, and you're like, oh, play on, let the boys play. Yeah, it only happens with the Devils, where Mackenzie Blackwood gets taken out. Oh, reset. Take about 10 seconds to get off of him. Oh, I knew the game was lost right there because that can dishevel a goaltender. I'm not making excuses, Scotty, but call a penalty, jerks. Just like that high sticking that Brendan Smith had. Normally I'd be like, oh, it's Brendan Smith. No, the guy dove. He put his head on the blade of his stick. The stick wasn't even high. The stick was like maybe, 2 feet off the ice? How is that a high stick? He dove, he face-checked Brendan Smith's stick, and they called it a penalty.
Preach, Sam Wu, preach.
I sound like a Homer Devils fan right now, but go to the replay if you don't believe me. I'm still mad about it.
I believe you, and I know we're going to hear more from Sam in just a little bit here on the show. Welcome, everybody, to one of these true Devils After Dark episodes here exclusively on the Let's Go Devils Podcast Network. I'm Scotty, along with the king of the football calls over there, Mr. Sam Wu, and hello to everybody who's tuning in late night, or maybe it's early morning for you, or who the hell knows what time. Maybe this is good time. Who's our buddy over there in Switzerland? I can't remember now off the top of my head.
Bachagaloop?
No, not Bachagaloop. Right? Did we have someone else?
Yeah, I forgot it.
Someone else. Was it a Mark? I think it was a Mark, maybe?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Yeah.
So who knows what time it is wherever you are. It's only 9:54 by me over here. So, but yeah, game number 45 here on the West Coast. End of the long road trip. It's been about 2 weeks the boys have been out there. Big Bastion back in the lineup. That's really good news right there. The BMW line reunited. Mackenzie Blackwood in goal, as many of us were suspecting. Isn't Vancouver real close to Seattle, Sam Wu? Isn't Vancouver looking to make some moves with some of their players prior to next season? Wonder if there are any scouts in the stands over there. But Zetterlund, Holtz, and Ball all scratched. Nolan Foote, if you didn't hear the news, got sent back down to the old AHL. So this game really in the first period was the Mackenzie Blackwood show. He had a solid game, just except for right there at the very end. But he had a solid game, and this first period was all basically Blackwood. We had a 4-on-4 play for a little bit. Bastion went to go throw a check, kind of got a knee-on-knee. Then Wood gets high stick there. Boquist got a nice partial break on that power play. Put it to his forehand, made a nice little move, but he couldn't put it home. Blackwood made another couple big saves. Kraken, I remember one where the Kraken entered the zone. Oh, hey, Sam Wu.
Just real quick, that was the only legitimate call that the refs made all night, was that Nathan bashing knee on knee. I just want to put that out there. I
Okay.
want to be
Thank
fair.
you. All right.
I want to be fair.
Okay.
And then their performance just dropped off afterwards.
After that.
Yeah.
Very much so. Yes. Okay. Agreed with the king of the football calls right there, Sam Wu. Blackwood, yeah, I mean, I remember one where the Kraken came into the zone. They kind of did like a sort of little drop pass. Big shot there. Blackwood came up huge. He had a big glove save right after that. I can't remember who it was on. And then eventually, friggin' Ryan Donato. Hey, old Donato over here. He had the game of his life with 3 points tonight, 2 goals and an assist. He gets the first one for the Seattle Kraken, and this was like a scorcher of a rocket, high near side over the glove. Tough one to put on Blackwood over there. That was just a nasty shot. Donato is ninth at 12:27 of the first. 1-0 Kraken. Again, Blackwood, I think he made another save. Donato was everywhere tonight. I think he made another big save on him when he moved in tight, and I think he went on he went to his backhand, and then there was a rebound there as well. Blackwood was on his game there in the first period. He looked, in the game, and he was getting peppered with shots. Let me just take a glance here. What's it? Yeah, 15 Kraken shots in the first period, 14 saves, and then there was another 4-on-4 at the end. And the Kraken got a couple good chances, and Blackwood, really held the fort there. Going into second again, he's playing well. He's kicking rebounds out real far. He's playing with confidence. He's up at the top of the crease. I was liking what I saw from Mackenzie Blackwood. And then that damn Donato's got to come in there again. And another one of his super shots up near side over the glove. It was kind of like the same spot again, but our boy Ahoytuk went to go throw a hip check, and I think it was Donato just kind of skated right around it. It was a nice play. What can you say? And he brought the puck in and, took that shot. I think it was like a 2-on, if I'm remembering correctly. Was that an odd man or was it a 2-on-2? I can't remember. But either way, again, ripped it near side over the glove. 2-0 Seattle Kraken. And, let's face it, the Devils were, they were playing a little bit like a team that's been on a 2-week road trip, and this is their last game against, a more than decent team. Seattle Kraken's a good team out there in the West with, now 58 points on the season. Devils with 62. Trying to keep pace there with the old Carolina Hurricanes, who won, but, they beat the Rangers, so that's good. But Carolina also jumped up to 64 points. Either way, the Devils were playing like it was the last game of a road trip. Although I will say, Nico Hischier on one of the power plays that they had, they almost gave up a shorthanded opportunity. And Nico got back on that back check real quick to make sure that didn't happen. And after Donato, that's right, the Devils got on the board with Sam Wu's best friend, Damon Severson. Taking a little back pass from Jesper Bratt, who's coming into the zone there, and I think there was 3 Kraken back. Bratt kind of going forward, passes it back on his forehand to Damon Severson, who's trailing behind him, and Bratt and the 3 Kraken players kind of act as a screen in front of Jones, and Damon Severson lets a wrister go, and bing, bang, boom, his 4th of the season right there. Devils back on the board, 2-1. Okay? Bratt gets his 28th assist. Brendan Smith got an assist on that one as well at 11:32 of the second period. But again, Devils were getting outplayed, but as us Devils fans know, this team does have that ability to kind of just score, at certain times when it seems like when they really, really want to. They just have the confidence to go out there and be like, all right, we're gonna score a goal now, especially at the end of the game. And you start thinking about that. This is halfway through. The second period wraps up, and you're like, all right, well, if they keep it 2-1, and it's like that near the end of the game, we definitely got a chance to sneak another one out here on a team that's looking like we said, a team playing on the last game of their West Coast trip. So going into the third period, oh, wouldn't you know it? It wasn't Sam Woo's best friend. It's everybody else's best friend out there, Eric Holla. We all know that Sam Woo decided to get the signed Eric Holla stick from his season ticket agent, and since he has chosen that stick, he has chosen wisely, like Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade. He's not chosen poorly. He has chosen wisely, young Sam Woo. We know Eric Holla is now on a tear.
True.
He's now on a tear.
True. Actually, it was a win-win situation. It was either Damon Severson, who has been playing well, in all fairness to Damon, or Eric Holla.
Sam Woo went Eric Holla.
Yeah, I went with the stock being at its lowest price.
It was a good move because you know what? Devils on the PK in the third period, and good work by our young up-and-coming stud, Dawson Mercer, who you see making these plays more often in all situations, not just 5-on-5. You see him playing in the penalty kill situation. You see him playing in the 6-on-5 situation later in the game. I'm telling you, man, this kid reminds me of a young Adam Henrique. I really think he is going to be a valuable piece of this franchise for years and years to come. I just love the way he has come along so much in so little time. So Dawson Mercer on the PK makes a nice little chip pass up the boards to spring Eric Holla, who gets in all alone on Jones. He goes to his backhand, and he says, "Oh, thank you, Ryan Donato. You're not the only one who could do this over here," and roofs it past the goaltender for his fourth of the season, a shorthanded goal for Eric Holla. That's right, I said that right. Eric Holla putting up some points in this past week or two. Dawson Mercer gets his 18th assist on the season at 6:04 of the third period. And now you're feeling pretty damn good. You're like, oh, okay, we're already tied up. Now we're just going to have a chance to win it at the end of the period. But less than 2 minutes later, friggin' Donato again strikes back on the Devils. Donato was able to find, Tanev at the side of the net with just a brilliant pass. Jesper Bratt, there was a defensive breakdown. Let's not forget that. The Devils, and even Dano said it on the broadcast, the Devils were very late getting back into the zone. Kind of hung Mackenzie Blackwood out to dry there a little bit. Jesper Bratt in, a final, gentleman's effort over there, comes sliding and diving in, trying to block the cross-ice pass there to Tanev. But, I mean, it's a wide-open net. Mackenzie Blackwood's got to play this side, and there's just no way he's going to get around that quick. They slam it home to go back up 3-2, and you're like, yeah, damn it to hell. But the Devils, because that was at, 7:51. The Devils stayed strong, okay? I should say Mackenzie Blackwood stayed strong. Again, Devils were playing a little tired today, but they got it to that end of the game situation, less than 2 minutes to go, where they can pull their goaltender. And you're thinking, wow, last game they did it with just like 10 seconds left. They got like $1:48 here left on the clock, and they're going to be a 6-on-5 situation. It's just like, I don't know about you, but I had like all the confidence in the world that this team was actually going to score and tie this bad boy up. I was just like, we're going to OT. We're going to OT. There's just no way we're not going to OT right now. Like, they're going to tie this bad boy up. And sure enough, they're working the puck around again. They were definitely putting it more on net in this game as compared to the last one against the Sharks. But man, they were just starting to pepper Jones there a little bit. The Kraken could not get the Devils out of the zone. They held it in there for so long. Eventually, sort of the same deal as the other day, and as we've seen previously, I think in the Carolina game as well, where we thought Nico had scored, but it turned out it like deflected off the defenseman. I think that might have been the Carolina game, like the first one on the road trip. Jack Hughes eventually gets the puck, and the defense is gassed, and they can't get over, and he's got space to kind of skate it up in the wing into that face-off circle, and he lets the puck fly, and this time it doesn't deflect off a defenseman. Jones makes the save, but who's right there in the front of the net, providing screen, providing the traffic, providing that beef is the captain, Nico Hischier, who chips it past Jones for his 21st of the season. How in the holy Hanneman did this guy not get voted to the All-Star team? His 21st of the season at 18:46 of the third period. Devils tie it up once again late in the game, 6-on-5 situation. Jack Hughes gets the assist, his 27th, and Palat gets his 3rd of the season. And then we know we go into OT, which is a lot of fun to watch, 3-on-3, some good times over there. Make it 10 minutes, forget the shootout. I like Connor McDavid's idea. And we saw Jack and Nico kind of talking to each other, before the face-off, kind of maybe setting up some ideas for a play or something like that. And they had one, and it almost connected. Well, it did, but the damn post got in the way. That was the whole problem there, is the post got in the way. So it looked like they had a little set play of some cycling action going on, and eventually Jack Hughes gets the puck, and he's on that opposite wing now in the deep face-off circle, and you think he's going to take a shot, but he actually does like one of those like a wrist shot pass across right to Nico, and he gets the deflection, but off the post. Damn it to hell. And it eventually turns back around to the Kraken right there, goes the other way, and on the next rush, Burakovsky, gets his 13th of the season, a puck that definitely looked like Jesper Bratt had deflected it somewhat, and it was, changed either speed or direction, and one that I think Mackenzie Blackwood would say, I'd like another crack at that one, please. With the Kraken. No pun intended. I didn't even mean to do that. I'd like another shot at that one, please. Okay?
Much better.
Thank
much
you.
Better. Yeah.
Can you pour me out that pint of shot attempt one more time, please? Because I think I'll get it on the other 99 times. If this was 100, that'll be the one time that I missed that one. I really believe Jesper. I mean, you could hear it on the replay. We could hear it on the play as it was going, and then I noticed it on the very last replay I was listening. You could hear like when the shot was taken, Jesper Bratt's stick is like right there, and you could hear them hit. So that puck definitely, it changed somehow or another. It fooled Mackenzie Blackwood. I'm sure it's one that he would want back. But the Devils fall in OT. They get a point. 9 out of 10 on this road trip. 9 out of 10 ain't bad. And we all know what happened just beforehand. I kind of forgot. I almost glanced over it there. What Sam was talking about. There was a goalie interference play just before, all that shot happened. And Sam Wu was not happy about it.
I actually would like to retract some statements earlier in the podcast. I looked at that replay 5 times. Because the game is fast.
Mm-hmm.
That was a judgment call by the refs or the linesman. What happened was, when you see it live, it looked like it was almost intentional that he bowled into him. It almost looked like it. Mm-hmm. But what happened was his blade of his skate, and Jesper Bratt's blade of his skate touched, I think it was Bjorkstrand. It just barely nicked and caused him to trip and then bowl over Mackenzie Blackwood. So that's how he ended up in Mackenzie Blackwood's crease. Again, I want to be fair. But that's exactly what happened. I thought it was just like him being careless and just run into the goaltender. That certainly wasn't the case. It was actually Jesper Bratt, he was in his stride when he was skating, and then I think his right skate was up, and then it just kind of not even got tangled, but just barely nicked Borkstrand's other skate, and then he just because he's a weak skater, he just fell into Mackenzie Blackwood. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
So that's what actually happened about that, because I actually looked at it, because I couldn't believe, it was a goalie interference. I think that's a judgment call at that point, but it seemed like it was just a kind of an accident between two skates, and because the puck was nowhere near.
Okay.
But I do think that affected Mackenzie Blackwood. But that's what happens when you go hard to the net. Good things happen like that for the Kraken. So I just want to be fair.
And I will say this, Samu. Now
Yeah.
I said it multiple times in the recap that they look tired tonight. It's the last game of this 2-week road trip over here. You're in the different time zone. You're like, man, this feels like 10 o'clock at night, but it's only 7 o'clock. What is going on here? So I totally get it. But I mean, was it just me, or did it really seem just like the Devils were they're like, we know we don't have our A game today, but we're just going to stick around in this game and then wait till the very end. And then we'll just turn up the gas full throttle and score. I the Kraken are a good team. This is not some pushover team. And I just had this feeling that this team had this confidence in themselves, that they knew they didn't have it today, but they knew if they kept it close, they could probably sneak this one out, and they're like, just stay within striking distance, and right at the end of the game, we'll make them pay. And I don't know, man. I like watching this game. That's how I felt all game. I was just like, I bet you they just feel like they can go out there and score when they want to sometimes.
I think Nick Villano alluded to this maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago on the State of the Fan, that run that the Devils went on in November is unsustainable. That kind of play is unsustainable for an entire 82-game season. You're going to break down quickly. And I don't know if it was the coaches, more of the coaches than the players, because it seemed like it was all strategic, where at certain times of the game, they were on a blitz. They were on a skating blitz. But other parts of the game, it's almost, I wouldn't say conserving their energy, but it was more strategic. It's okay, we'll neutralize. It's because players start to break down. I mean, what happened with Bastian and then Palat, all that kind of stuff. There were several injuries along the way.
I guess I forgot to mention as well. Bastian didn't even play in the third period.
No. So, it's just it's interesting you say that, because I was thinking the same thing. At the same, I don't think the Devils players are going let's just mail it in or whatever. But I really do think that a lot of it's strategy and the line combinations, what Lindy Ruff was doing. He was changing it up, trying to shake it up a little bit. But all in all, I thought Mackenzie Blackwood had an outstanding game. I mean, there were so many point-blank shots.
Yeah, I would say Blackwood played well, except for that last shot. That was it. It was that last shot, really. I mean, that was the doozy right there. But overall, I mean, that first period, 15 shots on goal in that first period. The Devils have been starting a little slow in games recently, but this one was something, it just looked like they didn't have it. And listen, that happens over the course of an 82-game season. Sometimes you just go out there and no passes work, nothing works. And like we said, they're at the end of a 2-week, road trip here where you're in the different time zones and your body's just ready to readjust and stuff like that back to its regular way of being, and it's like, what the hell? This feels like 10 o'clock at night, but it's only 7 and we're starting, it does start to get to you a little bit. But it looked like they knew it. They're like, okay, we understand. We don't have the A game tonight. I don't think they're mailing it in, but they were like you said, they were playing smart through the game, and they had so much confidence in themselves that they're like, if we just keep this to like a goal, we can totally pull the goalie at the end of this game and probably pop one in the net.
Yeah. And
that's what they went and did.
And give credit to the Kraken. They brought the speed the entire game on their end for the most part.
I know, but we still like hung around this. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Kraken are a good team, and it just looked like the Devils were like, they looked like that veteran team that knows how to win.
Well, that's the point. That's the point I was trying to make, because if the Kraken weren't at full speed, the Devils could have easily beaten them at half speed. That's the point I was trying to make. And the Kraken, the Kraken, their skill, their stick checking was impressive. I thought they were clogging lanes, passing lanes, and all that. They had to, in the end, had to make the Devils, really work. I thought Palat had a very, very good game today. He made some great plays, throughout the game. But he's slowly but surely getting back to real, full speed. You see it that his timing is there now, whereas in the first game he came back, his timing was a little off.
Yeah. No, I mean, they all looked, like we said, they all looked a little bit like they didn't have it tonight, and that's, the nature of the game at this point. It's we're getting past the halfway point of the season, and also, like we said, end of a long road trip. So the guys are going to get back home. They're going to have a day off. They're going to be able to sleep in their own beds, get a nice practice in, and then you got a 2:00 in the afternoon game against the Pittsburgh Penguins, who have been struggling lately. So it's very nice, to get back home for these two. Then they go back out to, who is it, Dallas and someone else. I can't remember. They end the week on a back-to-back away. Is it St. Louis and Dallas? I can't remember. Before the All-Star break. Then we get a week off. So it's good for them to get back into town, get a little rest up. 9 out of 10 points on a road trip? Come on.
It's better than the other way around.
Exactly. Like, I'll take that any day of the week. They played very well through this. They fought their way through. It's tough.
Good news. Mackenzie Blackwood played well, and Vanacek played well on this road trip. And I think that's the best news you can get going. At the midway
a lot
point.
Of things, man. Ahoytuk played well. He's been in the game. He's been in now, like 6-7 straight games.
Yep.
Jack Hughes is still Jack Hughesing. Jesper Bratt seems to have come out of his slump that he was in now, like full force, back to his usual self. Nico's back to scoring goals again. What do you have, that like 5 games where he didn't have a goal? He was putting up like assists, but he didn't have a goal. Now he's like every other game again. He's popping them into the net. You got your boys. We got our boys going pretty well. Like we just said, they were playing at like sort of like second gear tonight against a really good team, the Kraken. And they were able to just kind of like, okay, we'll wait. Okay, we'll get it. We'll not make any horrible mistakes. Okay, we can take advantage of this now. It's a minute left to go. Or a minute 48 left to go. All right, here we go. Turn it on. 6-on-5. Boom. In the net.
They'll play him again at the Rock. So.
Dude. It shows growth and maturity from our team as well.
Yeah.
So we got to get some updates on Big Bash. See what's going on there, because like we said, he didn't play like the entire third period. So I don't know if that was just easing him back in, resting. Did he tweak something? I didn't hear anything.
He's on a pitch count. He's on a pitch count.
Was he on a pitch count? Okay.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm guessing.
I wouldn't be surprised, first game back like that. So
I mean, on a tight game like that, in first game, you don't want him to pull a groin or you know. So
I'm fine with it. Well, we'll see. We'll check the updates and everything like that, but hopefully he'll be back in there in Pittsburgh. And like we talked about, these roster spots are filling up. Now that Palat's back, now that Bastian back. Now you're going to have John Marino probably back by the end of the month. So, All those roster spots where you were seeing the Zetterlins, the Holtzes, a Hoytuk right now, they may be heading back.
Difficult.
And that's what they have to do. That's what they have to do.
Yeah.
They have to give management a reason to not take them out of the lineup. Look who our 3 scratches were today: Zetterlin, Holtz, and Kevin Ball.
Yep.
So Marino's going to come back, and we hope we stay healthy, for the rest of the season. You never know. But it's a good time for the team to be getting healthy. Having that BMW 4th line makes a difference as well. You can really, I think, truly roll those 4 lines the way we did at the beginning of the season. So excited for it. Can't wait for the Pittsburgh game on Sunday.
Oh yeah. Scotty, we'll talk about the scheduling on Sunday.
Sam Wu seems psyched at 1 a.m. or 1:20 in the morning over there on the East Coast. Oh yeah. That'll be great. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Sunday, great. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the schedule
before that, right?
I'm going to tell you the schedule. So Sunday for Game Day Live, I'll be live at American Whiskey, because it's been a while, for Game Day Live pregame. However, Devils After Dark, I will actually be in the bunker for that.
Okay.
Yeah, because Hockey on Tap, they're doing their podcast at Mullet Arena with Short Sky.
Right.
So I actually
the old mullet.
So I actually have to be in studio for that, and it's just not enough turnaround time on that. So
very nice.
Sorry, folks. Sorry, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Hey, before we get out of here, real quick, we should just do you versus Woo score predictions. Because I know we're getting late into the early morning hours over here. So let's get to it. Brought to you by our good friend Dave Singer, Super Sexy Swinging Sounds, VictoryBucks.app, money or something. I always forget what we call it at the end of the day. But let's get to the
Woo
you
Bucks.
Versus Woo or score.
No, Victory Bucks.
VictoryBucks.app or something.
Yeah.
Let's get to you versus Woo right now. Our score predictions. Let's have it from our good friend Vinny Parisi, host of Game Day Live.
See, this is why I was pissed about this game. He predicted 3-1 Devils.
Ooh, okay. Well, he had the Devils score, right? So Good for Vinny. Okay, he gets an OTL. How about the king of the football calls himself Sam Woo?
I'd said 5-3 Devils.
Oh, all right. Well, you get the L. Sorry, Sam.
I know. That's why I was hoping the Devils would score so I could get that OTL. But you know what? That little mishap there in the end. But luckily I went back to the replay, and then I see, because it just because I thought it was kind of odd. Like, oh, you could just barrel into a goaltender. No, because I knew nobody hit him. It's like you barrel into the goaltender and you get away with it. I didn't realize it. But maybe that's the reason why.
OTL for the Devils, but an L for Sam Woo. Yeah. Sorry about that. Well, thank you, everyone. I see Max over there. He had 4-3.
I have to answer a question.
Ted.
Ted's asking, are you doing a broadcast this Friday and Saturday? Yeah, both days. We do. We'll report on Friday and Saturday. Don't know what time, but that will happen. But probably the Woo report will be right before the Giants game on Saturday, because there's no way I'm going to be doing a Woo report during the Giants game.
Well, I'm excited, man. I'm actually kind of somewhat believing that the Giants are going to win this game. I don't know if that's just false hope.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like the Bengals are going to beat the Bills as well. Seeing how much trouble, the Bills let the Dolphins put a bunch of points up. The Bills almost lost last week to the damn Dolphins.
Yeah.
What are they going to do with, Jamar Chase?
I'll tell you what.
T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, Joe Burrow? Man, I don't know how they're going to cover all them.
I'll tell you what. The Giants fans are actually going to go to that game in Philly.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I would write a will before you go. Because it's already bad enough for a regular season game if you've ever been to a Giants Giants-Eagles game down in the Lincoln, or even at MetLife Stadium. I mean, and
Ted's got Bengals 28-24 and 31-28 Giants. Woo! Boy, that'll make for a fun.
You know what? I'm
what's the
gonna
name of that
prediction.
stadium? I don't even remember.
Lincoln Financial Field.
Oh, okay. I still want to call it Veterans Field because that was the old one down there.
Veteran Stadium. I'm gonna call it right now. 4th and goal. 5 seconds left.
Cry, Eagles, cry.
And Daniel Jones does a QB sneak to get the touchdown. Just watching those 4th and 1s are just awesome. That's just like power formation. I mean, you talk about beefalytics in hockey. That's some beefalytics in football. It's like that 4th and 1, and you're trying to, or 4th and goal.
I think you're right. If the Giants win, I think you'll be right. I think it'll be a really, really close game. That comes down to like that final possession type of stuff, or really second to last possession. Maybe some defense on the field. I think if the Eagles actually play like they played earlier in the year, that they'll pull away in the third quarter and they'll end up winning okay. I think the first half will be tight, but then after that. But I don't know, man. I don't know which Eagles team is going to show up over here because they haven't had to really play that hard for anything in so long. And when they played us there, we weren't even playing any of our starters.
Yeah.
So, man, I love Brian Daboll. I think
they almost lost to Davis Webb.
I know, dude.
Let me tell
and
you
the
something.
Bills, I can't believe the Bills last week almost lost to the Dolphins. I'm like, yo, Joe Burrow is going to go off. He knows how to play in the cold weather. Cincinnati's freezing.
When I think about Daboll and Wink Martindale, you can't have football without fat guys. And those are the two guys that it's just these are football men, Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's for the next edition of Football Prime Time.
That's the next edition.
Yeah.
All right, so you know what? Because we never do it. How about we have those are my picks for the playoffs. I'm going with Chiefs, Giants, Bengals, and the Niners. I'm really leading. I'm really uncertain on the.
I'm going to
the
tell
Giants
you,
and the Bengals ones. Man, those picks are really hard.
I think Dallas is going to upset the 49ers.
No way. Nah, they're not going to beat San Fran.
Don't underestimate Micah Parsons, Penn Stater. I think.
Yeah, no. He'll be good. You'll be happy, right? Miles Sanders versus Saquon Barkley there in the Giants-Eagles game.
Miles
That's
Sanders
your Penn State boys.
No, Sanders is dead to me for that game. he was Saquon's backup. Okay,
I know.
That's how I look at things.
It's a Penn State reunion over there.
Yeah.
In the Giants-Eagles game.
Yeah.
Sam will be happy. The Nittany Lion himself. But yeah, I don't know. I got the Niners over the Cowboys. I don't know. The Niners defense is just diesel, and they have everybody back, man. They got McCaffrey, Mitchell, Debo, Ayuk, Kittle. Purdy doesn't need to be don't forget Tom Brady was a late pick. I'm not saying that Purdy's going to be Tom Brady, but we've seen, quarterbacks who end up, just getting it at the NFL level. Is he going to, I don't know. Everyone's waiting for that, Purdy, stinker to come out, and it hasn't happened yet. But, with McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell, they can just hand the ball off all the time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know. I can't see Dallas. Dallas' run game, he ain't what he used to be anymore, man. I don't know. But either way, I got the Niners over the Cowboys.
Okay. All right.
Ted saying the Giants are going to take over. Cornhole's got 40-13. Oh, boy. The O-line backs has got the O-line with the beef. Man.
All right.
Pollard, yeah, Max, Pollard is good, but you got that, I don't know, man. He's not McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell combined. I don't know. I give that edge, man. McCaffrey is just, man, he is a horse. And he's as long as he doesn't get hurt. But I mean, he's a dude that he's a game changer. He really is. And so is Debo. And so is Kittle. And their defense is just they got the number one defense in the league. And I know the Cowboys defense is pretty good too. So, don't get me wrong, but man, that Niners team, they are just stacked.
Yeah.
Oh, do I hear the music? Yeah, we're starting to ramble. Sorry, it's late. It's late. We got to get out of here so Sam Wu can get some sleeps. Thank you to everyone on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch. 9 out of 10 points for your New Jersey Hockey Devils on this road trip. I'd say that's a successful one. Okay? Good job, boys. Welcome back home. Can't wait to see you on Sunday taking on Pittsburgh.
Yep. Dropping the podcast in about 20 minutes. Till next time, let's go Devils.